If your husband or boyfriend is not taking this moment of history seriously, you are with someone who is not safe for you.
Some of y'all have seen the responses of white women who are acting surprised about the behavior and the reaction of white men to the death of Renee Good. Talking about something, I'm leaving my husband, I can't believe they don't care about this.
My friends are losing complete faith in their partners at this point.
Question. For all of the white women who are just really blown away by how their husbands are reacting to the murder of Renee Good, how did your husbands react when black people were killed by the police?
I need you all to really sit with us for a second, because the reaction I'm seeing online right now, it's saying a lot. And it's not just about ICE, it's about who people really care about. So there are videos of white women saying they are divorcing their husbands because their husbands are not protesting against ICE. They feel unsafe, they feel betrayed, they feel like this is a deal breaker. Anyway, guys, my name is Glory and welcome back to the channel. This channel is not here to promote violence, but for educational purposes. And that alone has sparked a huge reaction online. Let's watch more of the clip and I'll be right back with my reactions.
Some of y'all have seen the responses of white women who are acting surprised about the behavior and the reaction of white men to the death of Renee Good. Talking about something, I'm leaving my husband, I can't believe they don't care about this. Ma'am, you knew this. You knew this. Stop, nobody's telling you to lie. Ma'am, your husband's probably ICE. If not ICE, they definitely support him. And now they feel like they're in danger. Ma'am, you've been in danger. You've been in danger. Your husband probably been the same person laughing when black folks lost their lives or when natives was getting chased down by ICE. You just didn't care because you weren't the center of this. Now that you're the center, you feel like the prey instead of the predator towards other minority groups. But white women separating themselves from their male counterparts the moment that shit gets real is not a new concept. For example, the feminist movement, the moment that white women needed a leg up in America, they recruited black women with promises of working together so they can get equal and fair benefits, right? The moment that white women were able to stand up, they stood right on top of black women. Ever since black people gained civil rights in the 1960s, white women have actively voted side by side with their male counterparts against black and brown people. Prior to that, always remember, the most horrific Black Wall Street, the most horrific things that happened on American soil, especially the black and brown people, were instigated, fabricated, and manufactured by white women. And instead of having an actual come to Jesus moment, they will gaslight you and tell you that they knew nothing about this. People, learn your history.
I actually don't have a single friend who is like thrilled with how their husband is reacting to all this. Most of them are describing their husbands as ostriching, sticking their heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. Meanwhile, my friends, their wives, are trying to figure out how are we going to continue normal life for our children through this? How are we going to prepare and protect ourselves? And their husbands are like, stop being so emotional. You're overreacting. I mean, do we see what's happening? Hello. It's time to wake up. Protect your family. Like, my friends are losing complete faith in their partners at this point.
So ironic to see white women on the internet talking about how the white men are not sticking up for their families and they're not protecting their families because they saw how that Claire lady was unalived by that ICE officer, child. And my whole thing is like, you all literally would have picnics called picnic after you all's church services. You all would go and hang black people. And this was happening in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even in the 60s. And there was a few black men that was hung, unfortunately, in 2025. So we're not going to sit up here and act like white women don't have a hand in all of the atrocities that have been caused and perpetuated by white men. Y'all after they come with the white hoods, they come home, y'all make them dinner. Y'all freak them down. Y'all bear their children. Y'all raise them. They come from your womb. So why are you so surprised? Now it only matters because you feel like you're being directly affected. This has been happening, but y'all never gave a damn because you felt like it had nothing to do with you. The irony of it all. So I gotta keep saying, like, these clear women, they get to try to hide under the guise of the patriarchy. They get to hide under the guise of the patriarchy and make it seem like, oh, but we're women. Oh, but it's just the white man. Oh, but it's not us. And it's like, no, y'all are still, not all, but some of y'all are still very much so racist.
I actually don't have a single friend who is like thrilled with how their husband is reacting to all this. Most of them are describing their husbands as ostriching, sticking their heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. Meanwhile...
So you mean to tell me you're surprised that white men, the main reason that we're here, you as well, for why Donald Trump is in office, are complacent and okay with what's going on currently? Somebody go alert somebody in Philadelphia to get that Liberty Bell ringing, because this is riveting news. I am shocked and surprised to see that white men are complacent and okay with what's going on. It's almost like when white women choose their partners, they don't care about their husband's moral standing as long as the bill's paid and they're able to provide kids and everything that they want and need. And we have told you this for years. You have some white woman be like, oh yeah, I cancel out my husband's vote every election when he votes Republican and I vote Democrat. It's like, if you guys chose better partners and actually had standards and didn't settle, maybe you would find some men that have some moral compassion and have empathy at the end of the day. But no, all you cared about was a man that could provide for you and have some kids. I hope it was worth it.
Even if Renee Good was disobeying orders, even if she broke the law, that does not justify her. That does not give ICE and police the right to extrajudiciously people in the street. Muhammad al-Kurd uses this phrase a lot to reject this perfect victim narrative that empires use against people to deny us justice. Even if she was guilty, that does not justify her. Just the same as even if you are undocumented, even if you broke immigration laws, that does not justify the 35 people who ICE custody in 2025. I'm seeing so many people defend Renee Good by saying she didn't break the law, she was obeying orders. It doesn't matter. Even if she wasn't obeying orders, that does not justify her. Renee Good was classified as a domestic by the Department of Homeland Security. No one is safe. Not even if you are a US citizen, not even if you are a white woman, not even if you have money. Nothing will protect us when we have enabled a system that can people in the streets and nothing happened. Abolish ICE.
So since I made that video talking about all of the divorces happening in Minnesota, I recognize that it's not just Minnesota, it is nationwide. This country is about to get rocked by a wave of divorces unlike anything we have ever seen. I have women in the comment section of that video saying as much. Hey, it's not just Minnesota. I'm getting ready to leave mine. And in my own personal life, since I made that video, about 48 hours, I've had 2 of my long-term homegirls, because yes, boys, it really does enrich your life to have truly platonic relationships with women, reach out to me and tell me they're getting ready to leave their husbands, who I've known for the last 20 years as well. One asking if I can keep the animals for a while she gets shit figured out. The other asking if she could stay here for a few days while she gets shit figured out. Mostly because their husbands know me and know not to fucking try it, that I am completely comfortable copping fucking charges. But this has shattered kind of the final illusion of the patriarchy, which is why I say what works to our advantage is these motherfuckers never understanding cause and effect. They think they have it all figured out, but they can never foresee any of the consequences. And the patriarchy they're so desperate to uphold has always been an illusion, right? But millions upon millions of women in this country, liberal, conservative, and everything in between, really did buy into what they were fed their entire life, that if they participate in this, right, if they are good wives, which the 2 I know are very good wives and very good mothers, and that's the real reason they're leaving, is because the men refuse to protect the children, right? If they were good partners, kept a good home, everything else, that there were certain benefits that came along with that, like hopefully a man who can provide, but more importantly, a man who can provide safety. And over the last few years, they've recognized that, okay, well, most of that was bullshit, right? Like, none of that is true, but hopefully this providing protection bit, right, is accurate. Nope. And this proved that to them, that men, they'll sit on their couches, right, and say, don't worry, babe, if that ever happened to you, I'd protect you. They're good at talking that game, but they were completely full of shit and cowards the entire time. They're either just going to deny that it's happening or justify it and side with the people causing harm to their communities. But more importantly, it's the fact that these men won't protect their children. That's what women are really responding to, is 6-month-olds being gassed and needing to receive CPR because they were coming home from a basketball game. Okay, women are very, very good at perceiving threats. Like, I was mostly raised by women, and I always understood, even as a kid, men are gonna freak the fuck out most of the time. I need to pay attention to what women are doing, and if they get freaked out, that's when I need to get freaked out. And all of these women are accurately assessing the situation, that this has now become dangerous, not just for me, but my children. And this man has absolutely no ability or want to protect us. And that goes beyond just physical protection, men. That also means protecting peace and normalcy for your family and your children, and trying to provide them with as normal an experience as you possibly can. And they're just flat out denying anything is happening. And that was it. That was the last little illusion of the patriarchy to a lot of women, was at least maybe I could receive some type of protection. Nope, you're better off on your own, ladies. You really are. You have a better shot of just you and the kids, because you know when to move, you know when to get out of there, you know how to protect your children better than this chuckle fuck ever would. If it's up to a lot of these men, your children will be the ones being gassed in cars, while they're just saying, well, I guess I shouldn't have been here. Fucking cowards. So just leave now, lady. Leave. If they're not taking this shit seriously, get the fuck out. You are better off alone.
Here is the part that people don't want to talk about. When ICE policies were hurting Black Americans, when families were being torn apart, when people were losing their jobs, safety, and dignity, nobody was divorcing anybody. Nobody said, this crosses a line. Nobody said, I can't stay married under these conditions. But now that the fear feels closer to home, now it's an emergency. And Black Americans are reacting, not with shock, but with memory. I keep seeing comments like, so now it's a problem. Now it's unsafe. Where was this energy before? Because this isn't about marriage. It's not even about protest. It's about selective urgency. It's about how some people only recognize injustice when it finally knocks on their door. Black Americans learned a long time ago that system doesn't move with empathy, they move with power. So no, this isn't about mocking anyone, and it's not even about telling people how to feel. It's about asking an honest question. Why did it take this long for some people to finally see the danger? Because injustice doesn't announce itself politely, and it never stops where you think it will. If this video made you think, share it with someone who is open to conversation. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.